You're live. Don't know what I'm doing. I did the thing. I went into the woods and I returned. Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Untold Musings. Is that the right button? I actually wasn't sure. It was. And that button whoosh, thing was for Kathy Huey. Hi, Kathy Huey. Thank you for being here. I haven't set up everything because I got distracted by my cell phone. Since I am trying desperately to get as much information about the whole trip online and on YouTube as fast as I can. But I've been getting to the point of just, I made it back. That's what I've been doing so far. And now everything has to black out. Hold your breath. Don't worry. Everything's fine. And where is it? There it is. Hold your breath. I was supposed to turn that off. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah. Thank you, Zenbu. This is for you. Welcome. I can't hear that. The volume's all the way down. I had to unplug everything, so now I'm not sure what's actually working and what isn't. I am still, again, trying to get all the content edited and uploaded. It's not easy. I wish it were, but it isn't. Set a goal? Sure. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh. You know what? I'm not going to set a goal. I'll do that later. It's like, I'm forgetting to do all the things, and now I can't do anything. That's not true. I can set a goal. It's just a roundabout way to do it. How is your guys' past 5 days or so? What's been going on? I didn't do a stream on Friday, and I forgot to mention that, but I think everyone was fine with it. If you were paying attention to the channel, you knew I was out in the wilds trying to survive, which wasn't that hard, really. It was kind of Happy Pride. Kathy Hugh, thank you. It is Pride Month. Don't worry, I'll do some stuff about that, I think. I had an idea. There was a lot of ideas. Something about driving gives me certain ideas because I can't jot it down or anything. Sure, Gabe. There you go. Meow. That's for you. But I did have some kind of idea. And what I'm going to do about it, I'm not sure yet. We also don't have any music. What am I doing? Doo-doo. I have a song stuck in my head. It's not even in English. No editing. Stop it. Four-leaf sentence. That's right. She was live. Oh. How far away I am from remembering anything about what happens on the internet. Downer Pass Whiskey. That's for you. Cool Runnings. That's for you. Hanging AZ. That's for you. Like and subscribe and become a patron or a channel member. Please. And thank you. Anything I've found out, the cost of traveling and such is dreadful. I hit the like button. Yes, that too. That helps a lot. KillCo Invasion. Hanging easy. Welcome. Welcome all of you to see my exhausted form. My head hurt earlier. I had to take an ibuprofen. The second ibuprofen I had to take today. My legs hurt a lot because I don't know if I recorded enough of this to actually make it viable, but I was desperately trying to make a fire last night. Desperately. I didn't need a fire, but I had pieces of firewood. Like a bunch of them. And the only reason I didn't use them is because while I was on this trip, it rained for one entire day. And I was in a tent. Not my first plan to have that sort of camping adventure be what I was going to do. I was like, go camping in a regular type of weather. and enjoy that. Instead, it was go camping, have one day of relatively, oh, this is nice camping, and the next day was just all rain and thunder. And at one point, I was doing a recording of something and heard boom in the distance. I don't think it picked up on the microphone, unfortunately. But you did see me. I was doing one of these, like, oh God, well, this is where we are now. Gin and tonics. I haven't had gin and tonic in a long time. That's because I don't like tonic water. That's right. G&T is the stuff. I'm celebrating with a Biro. This Biro went all the way to New Hampshire and back with me because I completely forgot I had brought Biros. I had 3. I didn't drink any of them. But when I think about it, as like some guy camping in the woods drinking beer, it didn't feel great. If I really was just some guy camping in the woods drinking beer, which sounds okay from one perspective, then probably not great on the another. Like, and plus, I'm not drinking, so I had a little taste of some Angel's Envy yesterday. That was nice. But that's it. And that was at a very bougie hotel, which they didn't ask any questions, which I was fine with. Let's see if we got this going up right. Hold on. Thank you all of you for being here. Thank you for all your support. It means the world and encourages me to go out and do the things and go out and be in the world. Christy said, hold on. There you go. I want to make sure I give him his name. I think I did. Gin and seltzer. That's better. That's fine. Hey, look, it is working. Eminem's Community Day. Half an hour after they got here, it started to rain. Anyway, hey! We love weather. Today was actually nice. Like the drive back, I was like, oh, yay. It did. I don't know exactly what it was, but they did mention that. It was like 200 and something odd miles per hour. It was like you would have flown off the top of it. You could not stand up and stay there. Ugh. They're not weird hanging, to each his own, as they say. Everyone's palate is different, and that's what makes it all so amazing. We all get to experience things differently. For me, it would seem I have an aversion to tonic water. I'm getting the music started, don't worry. My mind is not exactly going fast. There's a lot of sluggishness going on here. It's a little bit slow right now. About a 3-hour drive. Yes, John McGowan. It was about a 3-hour drive to get back. I did it in stints. I find that's the easiest way for me to do traveling in any like extensive way. I could have driven more today. I wouldn't want to, but I could have easily driven maybe 5 or 6 hours total if I had to. I'd be pushing it though. Like I said, I have a headache. Had a headache. It's kind of fizzled out now that I've taken something for it. So we're good. I feel like my voice is lower. Like the exhaustion somehow has gotten into my vocal cords. Or maybe it's just that I haven't talked to people in a while. Maybe that's it. My voice feels different. Feels a little lower than usual. Okay, here we go. Goal. We're doing a goal. Celebratory goal. I don't know what I'm going to do when I sing a song. What do you guys want to see me do if we hit a goal? That's something I should like ask you directly, because I never know what to do other than be like, I'll have a Biro. Woo! It gives me some examples. That's nice. That was in a cooler for a while, so it's got that little extra specialness to it. Something about beer cans coming out of a cooler that just does something to your brain. It was seltzer. I made an orange. Music Maestro. Damn it. You tell me. Question mark. Yeah, I'll give you examples that YouTube tells me. I'll stream again on Friday. I'll play a rhythm game without any sound. That's a terrible idea. Hosting a community gaming night. That's a thing I could do, but I don't think most of you do gaming stuff. Get 1 extra hour of live streaming when we reach the goal. That I can do. I do that anyway sometimes. I'll do a stream where we explore more indie games. It's a lot of gaming content, which that's fine. That's what I like doing. But I know it's a, how do I put this? It's difficult to get people who are around my age interested in games. Unless you're playing with me, which is an option, but I just don't know what games to play. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. They were, there's more of them, but I just haven't edited them together and uploaded them because the one big takeaway from going to the mountains of New Hampshire is that there are mountains, and I kept losing it. I had no signal most of the time. If I got a signal, I was surprised. Like, oh no, I did have a few times when I was at camp in my tent and I was literally like playing around with putting my phone somewhere, holding it up and moving it around, seeing if I could get any kind of signal whatsoever. And I did a couple times, even to have a little conversation with a friend of mine who's in Oregon. She is experiencing some very, very hot weather, unfortunately. I spent one warm day outside and I was like, oh God, this is horrible. Punch a bear. Don't punch a bear. Don't go anywhere near a bear. What are you doing? Beer in the woods. Might even punch a bear. Yeah. What's really nice is just there was no one next to me. Like, it was one of those camp places where I thought it was further apart. I went there with the intention of, like, you have your own camping space, and then pretty far away, you might be able to see some other people at a different site. Oh no, they were right next to each other. If I had been camping and the place next to me, they could have seen me doing everything. And I was not happy about that. Yes. Yes. I still have the granola. I actually didn't eat any on the trip because here's the thing. With me and food and pantries and such, if I don't see it there, I don't know it exists. It just disappears. So the granola and a number of other things I brought with me with the intent of going to eat them, and then realizing I never touched most of it. Again, partially due to the rain. I went out numerous times because, let's be honest, folks, let me be real with you. I do like camping out and being in the wilderness and being away from people, but I have a very specific way, it seems, about that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing to start. Music, give it. No ads. Screw you. Advertisements are the devil. They really are. I want that ad revenue. I want that ad revenue so bad. Even though lots of people tell me it's not enough. It's more than I have right now. All right, there's the music. Turn that down a little bit. I know, once again, it's probably being picked up by the microphone, so I'm not sure how loud it is for you. But there we have it. A little chill background music. Chill. I took a shower twice, and I found out that taking a shower isn't that weird when you're going out and traveling. You finding the place to do it is the hard part. But as far as doing it, I thought I'd be very like, but there was a time in my life when I went to a gym, a local gym, which is gone now, and that place gave me something to be perfectly comfortable as long as there's a shower. Because when I was going there, I was not comfortable doing this, but it was just in a place with a shower. It was a real gym and had gym showers. So like a big room with numerous shower heads. And everyone just walked around with nothing on. So that was an interesting experience for me back in the day. And ever since then, just taking a shower in some random place isn't so bad. I used quarters. They were quarter operated. There are showers out there that are operated by quarters. It's very strange. I want a botanist. I want so much whiskey and gin and alcohol. I just want to... There were so many other things I could have done in New Hampshire had I been able to... Well, if I was drinking alcohol. Again, I remind myself when I say it, it's like, I can't drink anything. It's like, no, Brian, you're actively choosing not to. And you know that. But you just make it seem like something horrible is stopping you from doing it. No, the only one that's stopping it is me. And I've been doing it so long that I forget that is the case. It's like someone else is stopping me. No, you're just not doing it. Oh, that's right. I will show you my one and only souvenir. I did a video about it, so you're going to see this again if I actually able to get that uploaded. So here we are. This doesn't make you feel weird. Probably feels weird since I'm just in my apartment right now. Turn this down. This is too bright. But here we are. Prepare to be blinded. Oh. I hope no one's like prone to problems with blinky lights. I'll only do it for a second. Oh, there. Yeah, just a few months from liver decision day. It is. Yeah, August 19th. I've been going at this for 290 days. Possibly 91. I checked yesterday. So maybe it's 91 today. Spelunking musing, yeah. I got this at the top, baby. I got this at the top of Mount Washington, which makes it a little more special than it was. Or would have been. 291, yeah. So we got a... There'll be a 300 celebratory stream on soon. On soon. I have a reminder for it. Where's the reminder? It will be... Sorry, I clicked something I didn't want to. June 17th will be 300. Sea in a cave, yeah. This is so handy. I bought it not because of a touristy thing, and I know it was also at the top of Mount Washington, so it was mainly for hikers, because there are people who walk up that mountain, which is just... It's like known for its real dangerous thing. It's like, be very careful going up there. The weather changes, you're dead. If the weather changes, you're dead. You got 3 different settings. There you go. That's not so bad. But, there we go. So this is now a souvenir, and it's something I will absolutely use while camping because it was... Oh, it also tilts, so I can move it like that. So I can look at my feet instead of right in front of me. That was something I was thinking of getting before I went up to the top of Mount Washington because I realized how hard it was to see anything and do anything in the dark at a campsite. Because the one realization is that at a campsite, when it gets dark fast. Especially in New Hampshire's mountains. Like, the sun just kind of goes away. Montsant Greenwich wine from Catalonia, Spain. How bougie. Spanish wine, I hear, is divine. I don't really know. I could ask my brother. He's the wine guy. Adding more sugar to... Why would... Add sugar to gin. Why? Why? Yeah, full Monty. That's... Yeah. That was a younger time in my life, too. I was like 20-something. Actually, maybe I was a little older. No, yeah, early 20s. I remember doing that. I don't remember what I did there. That's what's a blur to me. I went to that gym and I was like, what was I doing there? Was I exercising? Yeah, spelunking. It's so handy. Like, as soon as I got back and it got dark, I put that thing on. It's like, I can just look around and see things. This is great. I don't have to, like, get a flashlight and try to move around and only have one hand. It's a game changer, as they say. True game changer. I got to pick this strap, though. This is nice. They had different kinds. I like this one. The design. What just fell over? What is that? I don't see anything. Oh my god. Cheap battery operated lantern is my cabin. Yeah, that's another thing. If there's a blackout. Honestly, if there's a blackout, I just like move my curtains and I can see all day. But at night, yeah, this would come in handy. This one's rechargeable. That was a big selling point. I want rechargeable everything. None of this battery operated nonsense. What are we, heathens? We don't need batteries anymore. We have rechargeable stuff. Granted, if there's no electricity, I can't recharge it. I understand that. Just have it recharged all the time. Hopefully it would work in a pinch. Wine time. Wine time. I don't drink wine, but I don't drink alcohol right now, which is weird because look behind me. I still can't get used to that. I did get to talk whiskey a little bit with the guy who worked behind the bar. I went to the place, which is... We talked about this, and it was really silly. But it was the hotel that the Shining movie was originally going to be done at. So it's like they recorded some stuff there, and right at the end, the hotel place pulled out because it would be bad for business. Little did they know. I don't know if they used anything from that. I imagine they didn't because they called out. Ah. Oh, Mom and Pop KillCo are here. Everyone look out. Be on your best behavior. I think they're watching it on TV, so they can't comment. No comment. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Yes, so this big-ass bougie hotel, the Mount Washington Hotel, there's a lot of history there. You're talking about, like, what's his name? Who's the guy who did electricity? Like, electricity, like, getting it all over the world. Edison? Is that who I'm thinking about? Apparently the place was wired by Edison, which I'm not sure if that's true. Oh, it's a business trip, all right. I kept the mileage. I found out this past year from Mom and Papa KillCo that I should do this thing called, I want to say deductibles. Is that it? Mom and Dad, they're here, but what is it called? I think it's deductibles, right? Because we got charged a lot. Like, my parents had to pay $500 that I don't have because of things I was doing and not keeping track of, and that would have made it so I don't pay as much. I don't understand taxes. I don't care. I don't like it. It's a silly thing. It was. That's the thing. The first hotel, they did some stuff there, and it was going to be that hotel they used, but then the hotel backed out because it was such a creepy movie, and they had to film it to the other one. That's the thing. I don't know if any footage was used at the place I saw, but the bartender did tell me, like, it was originally supposed to be at this place, and then they backed out because the publicity. They didn't understand how horror movies work. People love it when there's a horror movie done at a hotel. My brain is not just, or done in any place, really. So that vaguely connected two things, which is the Mount Washington Hotel and that little Shining thing, which I believe was a Stephen King thing, right? Right? And I just happened to go to Bangor, Maine not long ago. And that Stephen King's house is there. Coincidence? Yes, absolutely. I didn't know that. I knew nothing about that. Move! Ah. There we go. Oh! Sorry, I got cut off. Can I fix that? Hold on. I think I can. Nope, that's the wrong one. Don't do that. Nope, I can't fix that. Never mind. Too many! Safer interiors. I like staying at hotels. Exactly. Yes, that's the general theme. Mama and Pop KillCo have a tax guy. I give them all the pieces of paper that show up that say tax on them. Taxes. And that's it. That's it. That's the end of it for me. And apparently he did it wrong because I had to pay Mom and Dad had to pay $500 because I didn't have any deductibles. I don't understand it. But I'm getting deductibles this year. Wow. Sorry, that must have been loud. Filmed in English. See, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. Accounting software. I wish I didn't understand taxes. Well, Sugar Kitty, don't tell me much about it because I'm scared of it. Let's see. I was looking at Washington, right? You're right, accounting software. That sounds awful. That really does. I just use a spreadsheet and my brain starts to get all haywired. I'm trying to find where I was staying so I could show you. There's an easy way to do this. I know. God, when I look on the map, it seems like it's so far away. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys the mileage. Because I've been keeping the mileage. See, look, keeping mileage. You can't see anything. Hold on. Do it. Mileage. A lot of it. 836 miles exactly. I didn't make that up. 836 miles exactly. And best part. This was the little thing that was like, I am home. Well, I got back, got into the parking lot, and I have a specific spot I like to park in because, of course, you do. If you live in a parking lot or you live in an apartment complex, and you've been there for 14 years, you eventually end up having a place you like to park, and you like to get it all the time, and you don't always get it, which sucks. It's a silly little thing, but that's how my mind works. And I got there, and I saw there was a car there, and I was like, oh, man, that sucks. And then I parked next to it, like two spots away from it. And guess what? They then backed out of that spot. Just as I arrived, they backed out and drove away. And I was like, yes, I'm home. There's my spot. But not that enthusiastically because I was exhausted and realized I had to drag everything from the car inside. It was rough. So, like, the trip here was like pretty rough as far as driving that much, having a headache, being so sore, my legs. Good God. No car woes this trip. No, thankfully. Oops. Thankfully. I was talking about that fire I was trying to do, but everything was wet, so it didn't start. Nothing caught, nothing stuck. I was fighting it for 2.5 hours to get a fire going, and it failed. And the problem was, I was squatting down the whole time, so I was like, I was hanging over I shouldn't do this. Oh, I was hanging over the fire pit like this the whole time for 2.5 hours, breathing in smoke the entire time. So my legs are hurting today just because I was squatted down trying to get that thing to start. Oh, not one of my smarter things to do, but I was so desperate. I wanted to use the firewood I had. So now there's just a couple, 2 or 3 pieces of firewood that were unused because it rained the day before. I had one fire pit experience, and that was it. And I couldn't even keep that lit for long because I went to bed. And as much as I wanted to just ignore the fire and let it burn out, the Boy Scout in me, which still lives there somewhere, just in case of emergencies, wouldn't let me go to sleep until I put it out completely, like dumped water all over it. Put it out, we're good. Then I could go to sleep. So I had to kill the fire. It was basically embers by then. Shop for socks. Zenbu, don't you know about the Awesome Socks Club? At Good Store? Ugh, I feel like a tool. But I like Good Store, and I like the charity thing they're doing too much. So I always like to, if I can mention it and you guys go there and you enjoy it the same way I do, that's good for me. They have cool socks. Christy. They have cool socks. Cool socks. They have underwear now, which I might have 2 pairs of that. And they have coffee, and they have soap, and they have cleaning supplies. Eventually, I'm just going to get everything from them. If they keep going the way they're going, I won't have to buy anything. I can just show up. I won't have to actively go buy stuff. Imagine not having to buy dishwasher stuff or laundry stuff. Just having it show up on your door. And it's like good. And it's not water. That's their selling point for their cleaning supplies is whenever you buy cleaning supplies, you're buying mostly water. But you have the option to get these little pellets, put them in water. You have enough cleaning solution for who knows how long. 217 boogie. Oh, I'm gonna do a video at some point. Again, don't hold me to this. But there were little things, and I'm gonna have to go through it in my head. It's like what you need for your camping trips. I have to have some dumbass title like, what top blah blah number of things you need before you go camping. Don't do what I did. Rob Smith, hello, welcome. Thank you for bringing your time and attention, everyone. I didn't say it. Thank you for bringing your time and attention here. As always, it's greatly appreciated, especially for these crazy adventures I go on. I have a good time, and I hope you guys have a good time watching me have... I say a good time, but I'm just kind of panicking the whole time and being like, this is fun. Whoa. I hope to do something not so touristy next time. Because I wasn't quite aware of it until I was going up the cog thing in a train with one of the trains being full of little kids. Like, not even high schoolers. Like, somewhere between middle school, high school age range. Not high schoolers. Oh, they were so annoying. But they were in a different train. They were just also up there with me, which drove me nuts. I know, right? I got underwear, I got socks. And I help a charity organization in the process. That's the selling point for me. If I'm going to spend money on something, and it goes to charity, and I get something I wanted, isn't that the ideal? It's not going to some big rich corporation that doesn't care. It's just making more money the entire time. Giving you half-baked products. Stuff you can get. Spider-Man socks all day. Yes, do it. I used to have He-Man underwear. I can say that for a fact. The tighty-whitey kinds, which... Of course, they weren't white. They had, like, red lining. Red... What's it called? Outline with red. But they were white. Those were the days. Mama and Papa KillCo know. I don't really remember it. I'm trying to find more information about this hotel thing. This was my nutritionist said I should go there. Or mentioned it and said it was an interesting thing to do, so I did it. And the Mount Washington Hotel. Is that it? Nope. I went to the visitor's center, that's right. I went to 2 different places for the shower. One was a visitor's center. The other was a different campground, which was very nice to find out that there was a campground place you can just pull in, park, get out, get some quarters, go to the back, take a shower. In a room that locked. That was a big selling point. Nice. Tony the Tiger. It's hilarious. I guess all the cool underwear I don't really have for adults unless you go to the good store. Ha 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 ha. Oh, yeah. And the problem when I found this place is whatever organization bought the Mount Washington Resort and Spa, oh, $400 a night. $422 right now for one night. It's nice as a touristy thing to look at. The resort and spa. I'd love to go to a spa someday. I've never done that. They can do all the, like, I wouldn't really like it, but put cucumbers on my eyes and put weird shit on my face. I don't know if I'd like that. My skin condition might not let me enjoy that. But yeah, $422 a night. Gross. That's so gross. The place itself was fabulous. It looked lovely. And I got to talk with some of the staff at the bar. That's always nice. That's the one thing I like doing when I go to some place like that, or just anywhere that seems a little like frou-frou, there's a lot of money here situation. Just talk to the people who work there. That's the best. And like get on the same level of like, please don't treat me like a tourist. I just want to chat to people who work here. Tell me cool things. I'll tell you cool things. A haunted spa, that costs extra, exactly. What was the story? I didn't get to go to the restaurant either because I saw the prices. It was like $30 for one thing. No, that's what it is. I looked at, I usually have this one thing I do for myself, and I get a steak. I get specifically a filet mignon because it's a smaller steak and I can eat the whole thing and not feel sick. Like a T-bone. I would have a problem eating that. I do like a good ribeye though, if I remember correctly. Anyway, point is I usually get myself filet mignon and at an upscale place, so you know it's nice. I didn't do that this time because it would have been like $90. So I was like, that's not an experience I feel like paying for this time around. I could have used my credit card. I didn't. Praise me. I didn't use it this time. I didn't even buy any bottles of whiskey this time. I went into the liquor store. I looked around. Zenbood, saw a couple of things. There was a Redbreast 18 year there. $300. I think I have a tipping point with $100 for bottles. And even then, that's a terrible idea. I want it to be 50. But there's so many good bottles like Redbreast 12 that cost $65 at the moment. Thankfully, I'm stocked up there. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. I needed that. My head, it feels warm. Like I want to do this. Oh, that was cold. That feels so good. That was a bit of a shock. I didn't think it was going to be that cold. Oh, yeah. I'm awake now. Hot damn. There's so many of you here. Hello. Woo. Hey, AZ, thanks for stopping in. I'll be back. You'll be back. We'll be back. I'll be here. There's the words. Yeah, I'm going to try to look this up. Mount Washington Hotel, The Shining. See what the heck. I didn't even get the story straight. Because again, they told it to me. It's like, it would have been. It might have been. What's the deal here? This isn't really something to brag on. It was almost filmed at this location. Yes, but it wasn't. What are you trying to tell me? There we go. That didn't help. Mount Washington. Oh, I didn't say hotel. Oops. There we go. What I was trying to get around to saying was that when I do anything travel-wise, I like to eat. I like to have breakfasts. I like to have filet mignon. I like to have a good burger. There's all these little things that I like to do that are not very camp-friendly. I bought pizza. I have pizza in the fridge right now that came all the way from New Hampshire. There we go. This is the question. Okay. Yeah, this is the silly thing. It says, and I don't know if this is an AI question thing, though the Mount Washington Resort might not have been the inspiration for The Shining, this grand hotel is still steeped in plenty of ghost lore. One of the resort's most prominent ghosts is the widow of the hotel's original owner. That's disturbing. Yeah, why does it even say this? It wasn't the inspiration, so what was the deal? Oh, and I'm remembering a lot of things not in order today. But the Mount Washington Hotel got bought, and the asshole company has now renamed it as Omni, the company name, Mount Washington Hotel. Wouldn't have been so much better if they didn't put their name on it and just called it the Mount Washington Hotel? That gives it some prestige. Them slapping their name on it is gross. Oh, chat, are you not running? There we go. Sometimes chat stops moving and it disturbs me. Get out of here. No, I didn't click on the advertisement. I said get away from it. Good God. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, that was the other thing. I took pictures of it. Did I mention advertising is the devil? Because it is. Let's talk about hauntings. Anyway, they tried to get some thing across to me at the Mount Washington Hotel, but otherwise it's a really neat place. Like, it felt very, very bougie-esque. Let me see if I can... I have pictures. I haven't posted them at all yet, so you guys get the insider stuff. We never tie the knot, don't tell the church. Zenbu, no. Yes, do the granola. Four-leaf, hello! That's for you. Thank you for sending your viewers over here. Welcome. You'll be happy to know I didn't buy any of those Irish whiskey bottles. Those are definitely way outside my price range. And thank you for telling me about the Redbreast stuff. Now I at least know when it's going to happen. Will I be able to do anything about it? No. But at least I know what's going to happen. Whoops. I have content on here that's not ready to be seen yet. Specifically me taking the tent down this morning. That was rough. Yeah, the view there was pretty good, but unfortunately, I feel that when you show a video of a, lovely view, well, the person's not standing there look at it, so it doesn't, it takes them away from it. Let's see, I took a few pictures of this place. So here's like one of the main entrances. Look at the pillars. I don't know if it's going to focus properly or not. There we go. Moose head over the giant fireplace. Bougie chandelier. Pillars all the way down. Like those that go all the way down. What else? Oh, there we go. Yeah. This one does sink in pretty well. It looks like something off a postcard. I was standing there taking that picture of those misty mountains. What else we got? Is that it? Oh, I had pictures of the outside. I could not get a good angle to save my life. But there we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Oh, 25 years. Good God. You're nothing but trouble. Forley, if you ever go to Ireland again, tell me. I might be able to make a horrible decision with my credit card and go with you and see all the good stuff and drink all the good whiskey. If I'm drinking alcohol again, we'll never know. Ireland and Scotland are big on my list of travel adventures, even if I can't afford it, which is a horrible thing to say, but I've spent many years saying that I'd like to see Japan, I'd like to see Scotland, I'd like to see Ireland someday. And if one thing I've found out from this travel is someday is not a guarantee, tomorrow is not a guarantee. Anything can happen. So seize the day, carpe diem and all that. That's what I've been trying to do this year, especially with the kind of... I think the liver thing was a bit of a... It certainly pushed me in that direction very suddenly. Not only for content on the channel, but because like my liver was going weird. And that was a very real situation, and I had to have a very serious discussion with myself internally. It was not really a discussion. It was frustration and acceptance, where it was just like, okay, so I stopped drinking. That was it. This is, where do we go from here? Whiskey channel goes to travel channel, goes to gaming channel, goes back to travel channel. Ugh. I do wonder if posting some of the food pictures on YouTube would help with more content type stuff, because I always post it on Instagram automatically. Those were good brownies. Those were real good brownies. I can't have those brownies again. Don't do it. I still have to lose more weight. I still got a spare tire, and I'm not exercising right now because of recently the trip, but there is going to be a new exercise situation going on in the future, but that's not until next month. So once I start my birthday month, which I was trying to decide what I should do for that, and I just have no idea. I was trying to think of, like, what would you like to do for July for travel? And my brain went, I don't know. Brownies, yeah. Just salivating. I haven't really eaten much today, so I'm keenly aware of that fact. I had one slice of pizza when I got back. I ate a big breakfast, and I shouldn't have, but I did. I can show you. I haven't posted this to Instagram. Again, if you show up and I'm in the middle of posting stuff, you get to see some of it. Because surprisingly, it shows up on the camera okay. Which is nice. Why am I going to Instagram? I'm not posting it. What are you doing? Good God. Yeah, there are a lot of expensive bottles. Like, that's the one thing I've noticed with state-controlled places. They're good in the fact that you see some interesting bottles. They're not good in the fact that if you want to look for a variety of bottles, you won't really find it there. You'll find an excess of bottles. But like, you'll find Maker's Mark, you'll find Elijah Craig, you'll find Angel's Envy. You'll find a lot of the whiskeys, the ones you'd expect, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, all of that. They have quite a bit, and in variety of sizes. I should have, well, no. Maybe next time, if I find one of those like half-sized Elijah Craig bottles, or not Elijah Craig, Angel's Envy bottles, I might get that. That'd be funny. But here's the breakfast. It's eggs, English muffin, hash brown thingies, and bacon. And then, next to that, big French toast. That's 4 slices. Big, big. So that was breakfast. Whew. At a diner. I forget what the name of the diner was. I took a picture. This is another way I document my adventures, is just taking pictures. I've been trying to do more video content because, again, YouTube is my main thing. Arnold's Wayside Diner. Arnold's Wayside Diner. What a name. Fun of all the $20 cheapies. Yeah. There was one bottle that was called The Last Drop, and it said like 52-year-old something, bourbon, I'm assuming. I didn't even take a picture of it because it felt so ridiculous. Like, it's 52 years old. It's like, well, what is it then? At some point, the whiskey starts to become vapor and disappears. All the fun, good stuff about it can go away if it's kept too long. Rob Smith wants breakfast. Yes. It was a pretty good breakfast. It wasn't like the stellar breakfast. I don't think I had any stellar breakfasts there, except the uniqueness of one of them was, I don't remember if I posted it or not. I did recently. It was a Belgian waffle with a piece of cherry pie on top of it, and then a bunch of whipped cream. Yes, that's right. They literally took a piece of cherry pie, slapped it upside down on a waffle, put whipped cream on it, and called it a cherry pie Belgian waffle. Because that's exactly what it was. I was honestly expecting like cherry pie filling on top of it. No, just the pie. It was delightful. How many chapters look up? Hello? That's for you. Thank you for bringing your time and attention. I was great. Ready to be excited. What? Oh, I haven't felt this drained in a while. Like, I'm really tired oftentimes, but this is right here. And my back. Oh, my back. Jesus. I gotta do some stretches. It's just, ugh. Sleeping on 2 inches of bedding, or mattress, we'll call it, on the hard ground, doesn't feel great. Oh, the thing. Hold on. Someone asked the question of like, what would you do now that you've done this trip? One thing, I forgot to bring a pillow. I didn't pack enough shirts for whatever reason. I had plenty of jeans. I only packed 2 pairs of socks. I think I had 3 pairs of underwear. But I think I had 2 or 3 shirts and that was it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was worried about the food situation, which I didn't have to worry about because I like going to get food at places. I had a really good burger while I was up there. I had a good burger at a brewery and I didn't have any beer, which would have gone great with said burger. And I was curious about their beers because they were all listed right in front of me because I was sitting at the bar. I did have a, crud, I forgot the name of it. I'll tell you in a second. All right, here's some of the stuff for the thing. This makes sense. So things I noticed would have been good to have for this trip. Gloves, like working wood gloves that were you could do like detailed work, like I could pick things up like this without a problem, but that were still sturdy and could keep my hands safe for things like chopping wood. Also, having a hatchet of some sort would have been good. There's one on the Amazon wish list. That might have helped me start a fire, but I was still trying all the tricks I knew. Making shavings, I used the knife for that. Trying to nothing wanted to catch. That's all it was. Nothing wanted to catch. Blows. I'm always going to be frustrated about that. So special gloves, work gloves, we'll call them. Shoes or boots. Shoes, boots situation. Make sure you have the correct type of shoes, because I ended up walking through the mud and the dirt. You might have seen the short I did where I found myself in the woods all of a sudden and literally said, I'm not wearing the shoes for this, because I wasn't. But yeah, being at a campsite, you need specific types of shoes or boots. Specifically, like hiking boots would have been fine. I think those are on my wish list still, but that's not something I'm going to worry about now because I'm done with it. Quick meals. This is something I have to suck up and realize this about myself, because I know. I'm not one to make meals or plan things out, like what I'm going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know until I get there. Usually I have certain things around, and it's what do I feel like making right now. Quick meals, and by this I mean like immediate, not like let's make a peanut butter and jelly. Like I get it, I eat it. So protein bars, protein drinks, dried fruits, nuts, cheese, cured meats. Those are the only few I got, but more than that. Because when it rained like it did, I couldn't like get my little stove and put it out and make something because it was raining. And I was not going to use that thing in my tent. I could like fill up the place with some of the fumes and like pass out. I don't know. Too sketchy. Not a good idea. Don't do that. Cleaning rags. Specifically, early this morning, I was dealing with having to take paper towels and wipe down my tent, wipe down the tarp because it was disgusting, because it would rain. There was mud and there was just splatters everywhere because of the weather. So that would have been better to have some kind of actual rags where I could actually use it, do things a little harder. I'm still going to clean up the tent. It's in the bathroom right now, and I need to rinse it down real good, get it cleaned up properly, let it dry, then I can put it back into its place. So those are the ones right now. I'm going to have to think on it a little more for things that would have been more convenient for me. I did have a whole bunch of water. I had a 4-gallon water thing. I didn't even use half of that. I used maybe a third of it, and that was just to fill my water bottles. So that was good to have. I mean, I could have stayed out and done more, but of course I went out and I got food, and always asked for water. Always. Hydration is key, as you may know. And also beer. Cheers to all of you who have been here or are here. Thank you for joining me on my little adventures. They're interesting for me. It is a bit strange to think about the fact that a couple of days ago I was really, really high up. As high as a person can get in this area. Just like, here we are. I would like to see the view, but there is the fact that I have been up there, and that if I want to see the view, I just have to go to their webcam on a nice day. And I hope some of you were able to actually see me on the webcam. I let a number of people know by text messages. When I had text message, I don't know if it got through to everyone, but let them know exactly when I was going to be up there, and I tried to sit right where I knew the camera was pointing. So I hope a couple of you saw me. Mama and Papa KillCo might have, and maybe a few others did. I don't know. Again, it's hard to tell from a distance. I was probably about this big on the screen, but I did meander around for about 10 minutes, hoping someone would see me. Ow. Yeah, everything feels a bit surreal when I travel. Like, I just did a lot and survived. The camping part specifically. I did one thing, which I hope to post at some point, but it was basically saying, and again, I was cut off from everything. No internet, no phone service, nothing. And underwater with work after. Hey, it's fine. It's fine. I think Mom and Dad saw me, so that's all you really need. What was my point? I forgot. Oh, yes, that's right. That being out in the woods, completely disconnected, just with myself, made me realize, like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is the way it felt like when I was a kid. I was out in the woods, and there were no other distractions. I was just there, dealing with those things in the moment. I felt very proactive while I was there because I wasn't distracted by other things, and there was something to do. Like, I had to get all these bits and pieces to make breakfast. I had to use the AeroPress to make coffee. No bear horn usage, no, not a one. And supposedly, when I went on the cog rail, they talked about bears because they're around, but they're herbivores. They're not grizzly bears. They're herbivores. So really, they're looking for other things, not humans. They would very much shy away from people, especially if they smell you. They're not interested in being around people. They're interested about food, and sometimes food is left out enough times for bears to be like, I can get food here. So yeah, black bears specifically are in the area. Same with moose. Black bears and moose, those are the big, like, things to worry about there. Didn't see one, didn't see any. I told myself that moose up there are kind of like deer in my area. They're around. I see them occasionally, especially at this time of year, come to think of it. And I know where they can be sometimes, but in general, you don't really see them that much. And that's it. It was good. It was coffee. Like, it wasn't the best coffee in the world. But with enough sugar and with some milk, it worked. It did. I'm there for the caffeine, as long as it didn't taste bad, and it didn't. Just like with the initial attempt to make it, to use it, it worked great. So I had coffee on site, which was the important part. Oh yeah, it really is. Like, it was frustrating just to have no internet when I felt like I needed it. Like, it was frustrating because I was driving around trying to go from point A to point B, and I just lost the connection entirely. The GPS worked, but for whatever reason, the radar and Google itself was disconnected, so it couldn't tell me how to get there. I had to figure it out, and it wasn't that hard. All right, here's the other two questions. I didn't put them on screen. No bear horn, and the AeroPress worked great. Hell, I would use it again. Like, if there's a time where I don't really feel like making coffee in the morning, like doing a pour over, I can just use the AeroPress. Boom. Less than 3 minutes and I have coffee. Although, to be real, my pour over style is like 5 minutes and then I get coffee. And it's kind of the same as far as how quick it is. But sometimes it's not very quick with pour over. I do have a new special thanks to Zenbood for giving me a grinder. That was a nice surprise. Emily Chambers and I were trying to figure out some kind of grinder to do. I was even considering, at the time, I remembered I have a NutriBullet, and the NutriBullet comes with a grinding option, but that would have been a big mess. So the thing I use smoothies for, I would have had to mess that one up with coffee beans, and I wouldn't really want to do that. So now I have the new thing. I haven't tried it yet because I got it just when I was going to leave. And I don't have any actual beans that I need to use right now. I do have coffee beans from Kathy Huey, but they're right over there. And I have to finish what I have that's already ground. So soon we'll be trying out the grinder. And it'll be lovely. I'm going to sleep real good tonight and not wake up at dawn. That was another thing about camping. I would go to sleep around 10 o'clock, and then I would wake up at 5 a.m. I assume mostly because of the birds. I am going to miss the woodpecker thing. There was a woodpecker, a couple of them out there, and it might not have been a woodpecker, it was something else, that every morning I hear tut-tut-tut-tut-tut on the wood, like knock knock on the wood. And that was kind of nice. The birds were nice. I have a list of what I supposedly heard, but I'm not even sure if that's true because there was no real Wi-Fi at the time. Or not Wi-Fi, any connection. So I'm not sure if it was being sincere or if it was just kind of telling me vaguely. I'm not sure how the app works. So hopefully it had the data on my phone and was telling me these are the birds in the area. So there we have it. The triumphant return. It's 8 o'clock. I'm gonna vibe for the evening. Try to go to bed a little later, and oh my god, my bed is gonna be so good tonight. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'll be back on Wednesday. As always. Live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome, and I will see you out there. Oh, yeah. I'm so tired. Special thanks to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.